Jenna stood frozen in the middle of the parking garage. Her white Audi SUV, which she distinctly remembered parking the night before, was gone without a trace. At first, her heart leaped into her throat, thinking it had been stolen. With trembling hands, she called her husband. "Leo, honey, my car isn't in the garage. I think it was stolen. What do I do? Should I call the police?" On the other end of the line, Leo's voice was unnervingly calm. There wasn't a hint of panic in it. "Oh, don't worry, it wasn't stolen. I gave it to my sister Susan to use for a while." Jenna couldn't believe what she was hearing. It felt as if her brain had short-circuited, unable to process her husband's words. "What did you just say? You gave my car to your sister. What does that even mean?" "It means what I said. Susan's having a tough time getting to and from her job without a car, and since you barely use it, being home with the kids in the house, I figured you wouldn't mind. So I had it towed over to her place for her to use. And you decided this on your own. That car is in my name. I paid for it with my own money every single payment before we were married. How could you just give it to someone else without my consent?" Jenna's voice was rising, but Leo, instead of understanding, reprimanded her as if she were being cheap. "What does it matter whose name is on the title? We're a family, and in a marriage there's no yours and mine. Besides, she's family. We can help each other out, can't we? Why are you making such a scene over something so trivial?" "It's not about being petty, it's about common sense. Isn't getting groceries a chore? And how am I supposed to pick up the kids from their after-school activities? Does it seem normal to you to send it to your sister on a tow truck? Without even asking me? Come on, supermarkets deliver everything to your door these days. And let the kids walk to school. The exercise will do them good. Susan works a real job earning money. It's pretty clear which one of you needs the car more. I already paid for the tow truck to send it, so don't give me any more grief and stop bothering me." Leo hung up abruptly. Holding the silent phone, Jenna almost collapsed from the sheer helplessness of it all. This wasn't just a simple lack of consideration. She felt a profound humiliation, as if her very existence had been completely ignored. Unable to bear it, she drove her husband's second car straight to her in-laws' house. When she rang the bell, her mother-in-law Brenda opened the door with astonishing casualness. "Well, Jenna, what are you doing here? What a surprise, and without calling first. Brenda, did you know that Leo sent my car to Susan? That car is in my name, it's mine, and I cherish it. How could something like this happen without anyone saying a word to me?" At Jenna's desperate plea, her mother-in-law frowned and crossed her arms. You're selfish. What does it matter if it's in your name? Do you have any idea how much valuable time Susan wastes on public transport?" "Brenda, that's not the point. He didn't just lend it to her. He gave it to her. It's something I bought with my own hard-earned money. It's only logical that I should be asked for permission. Now you're treating our Susan like a stranger over a simple car. We're a family. Things can be shared. So selfish of you. Do you think Leo would have done it behind your back if he didn't know you'd object with all your complaining? I'm not the selfish one, you and Leo are. How can you dispose of someone else's property as if it's nothing? Property. What's this about your property and my property in a family? Didn't you marry into our family? If you're living off the money Leo earns, then that car is family property too. How dare you come screaming at me in my own house, you rude girl." Faced with her mother-in-law's audacity, Jenna's blood boiled. As a last resort, she called Susan. However, her sister-in-law's reaction was even more infuriating. "Susan, you're using my car, aren't you? Bring it back right now. My husband sent it to you without my permission." "Hey, Jenna, why are you yelling at me? It's not my fault. I just accepted what my brother offered me. You should have talked to him. I've already driven to work and done my grocery shopping in it. It's a fantastic car, by the way. You can tell it's expensive." "Susan, does it seem normal to say that when you've taken my car? Taken, my brother's car is your car, and your car is the family's car. Jenna, if you get so uptight about everything, life gets very complicated. Now I have to go into a meeting. Talk to you later. Thanks so much for the car. I'm really going to enjoy it." The call ended with her sister-in-law's mocking laugh. Jenna stood for a long time in a corner of the parking garage. She felt as if the whole world was laughing at her. That night, Leo came home late, smelling of alcohol. As soon as he saw Jenna, he scowled. "Are you still making that face about the car? I told Susan to take good care of it. Don't worry, and I'll handle the insurance." "Are you in your right mind? Why would you handle the insurance? It's in my name. Bring my car back right now, or I won't just stand by and do nothing." Leo, with a gesture of annoyance, tossed his suit jacket onto the sofa and yelled, "Bring it back! What's there to bring back? My sister needs a car, and you throw this drama queen fit because you can't lend it to her. You're so selfish. I don't even want to look at you." Go to the bedroom and sleep, and don't make any more noise." Leo pulled a bottle of water from the fridge and looked at Jenna as if she were an insect. Seeing that cold gaze, Jenna felt something break deep inside her. This man is not on my side. He doesn't see me as his wife, but as a spare part he can sacrifice at any moment for the good of his family. In the dark living room, Jenna walked to the window overlooking the empty parking spot. The problem wasn't the absence of a car. What hurt was the certainty that all her rights and dignity built up over years had been stolen in one fell swoop. She clenched her fists. She decided she would not let them walk all over her ever again. She began to think calmly about what she had to do to protect what was hers. A week after the car incident, with the wound still raw, her in-laws showed up at her house unannounced. "Jenna, we're having dinner here tonight, just so you know," her mother-in-law announced loudly, like a declaration of war, the moment she crossed the threshold. Behind her, her sister-in-law Susan walked in with a malicious grin laden with luxury shopping bags. "Hey, sis-in-law. You've decorated the house so nicely. I'm so jealous." Jenna, bewildered, received her in-laws. "Brenda, if you had called, I would have prepared something. So suddenly I have nothing ready for dinner." "Prepared? What nonsense. You don't need to throw a banquet for a family dinner. Just put out whatever you have." Brenda, without waiting for a reply, walked into the living room and carefully examined the Italian leather sofa that dominated the space. "Wow, this sofa looks amazing. The leather is so soft and supple. How much did it cost you?" "I bought that one before we got married. I remember it was quite expensive." Brenda ran her hand over several parts of the sofa, clicking her tongue. "Still using something from before you were married. It's about time you replaced it. Looks like the leather is starting to peel." "It's still in perfect condition, Brenda. It's not peeling, it's just a little dusty." "Dusty, or whatever. It's 100 times better than ours. With one of these at home, the living room would look completely different, right, Susan?" The mother-in-law sank into the sofa and called to her daughter. Susan, who was playfully spinning one of the dining room chairs, agreed. "Totally, Mom." "Hey, Leo, the design of this chair is gorgeous, isn't it? Ours are so old, they'd look great if we swapped them for these." Leo, who was listening nearby, tried to brush it off with a nervous laugh. "Come on, Susan, swap. Don't be silly, honey." But Susan's look was serious. "I'm not kidding. You guys will buy better ones later, right, Jenna?" Jenna, preparing drinks in the kitchen, overheard the conversation. Her hands trembled slightly as she felt her belongings being appraised as if they were at a flea market. "Jenna, bring me some water. My throat is dry." At her mother-in-law's sharp voice, Jenna hurried back to the living room. After drinking the water, Brenda turned her attention to a painting on the wall. "And this painting, what is it? Why are the colors so gloomy? It looks expensive, but it ruins the whole atmosphere of the house." "It's a piece by an artist I've admired for a long time. It was hard to get. It's very special to me." "An artist. Is he famous?" "I understand he's quite recognized nationally." "Just nationally? Pfft, then it's no big deal. Hanging something like that just makes the house look dreary. At my house, we have a calendar with bright landscapes, and it looks much better." "That's your taste, Brenda. I like this painting." The mother-in-law let out a little laugh and looked her up and down. "It's not a matter of taste. It just seems excessive for your income level. You're not rich enough to afford these kinds of luxuries." Jenna bit her lip, holding back the humiliation. Meanwhile, Susan threw open the master bedroom door without asking for permission. "Wow, Jenna, what an impressive bed. It looks like it's from a hotel." "Susan, how can you just walk into someone else's bedroom like that? Please get out." When Jenna hurriedly followed her, Susan flopped down onto the bed. "Someone else's, I'm your husband's sister. Jenna, you love drawing lines, don't you?" "It's not about lines, it's about manners. Entering a room without permission and lying on the bed is not right." "Oh, Jenna, if we get so formal in a family, all the warmth is lost. I had this imported directly from Germany. Susan, please get up." Susan bounced up and down as if testing the mattress's elasticity. "You can tell it's German. It's different." "Hey, Leo, can't you give me this bed later? You'll buy a new one when you move, right?" Leo, standing in the doorway, just smiled uncomfortably at the scene. "Come on, Susan, stop saying things like that. Mom's waiting. Come on out." "Why? If it's theirs now, we can use it later, right?" Susan got off the bed and immediately opened the closet. "Wow, Jenna, so many clothes. Ooh, and this coat, what beautiful fabric. Can I try it on?" "Susan, that's enough. Please, going through someone else's closet is very intrusive." As Jenna raised her voice, her sister-in-law scowled and shut the closet door. "Geez, I can't even try it on. You get so sensitive just from a little look." "Fine, I'm leaving." Susan walked out into the living room grumbling. Brenda was now examining the bookshelf in the office. How does a woman have so many books at home, Jenna? Do you really read all of these? Yes, I need them for my work, and I also read in my free time. Free time. Wouldn't it be better for a daughter-in-law to spend that time on household chores? Does reading put food on the table or bring in money? I believe you never stop learning, Brenda. Lifelong learning. What nonsense. You'd be better off spending that time taking better care of our grandchildren. This bookshelf looks very expensive, too. With what this cost, you could have paid for more extracurricular classes for the kids. They already get enough support for their classes. I don't think it's a mistake to buy my own furniture with the money I earn. Enough. If your kids are only in one activity, nowadays it's normal for them to be in 3 or 4. You skimp on your children's education to indulge in your own whims. Jenna, feeling it wasn't worth arguing, fell silent. At dinner time, the table was filled with takeout, fried chicken, and pizza. Wow, instead of cooking, she ordered everything in. How thoughtless, Brenda complained openly while biting into a chicken leg. Since you came without notice, I didn't have time to go shopping. Please understand. No time. And what were you doing all afternoon at home? Lazing around. A proper daughter-in-law doesn't even have the decency to cook some rice when her mother-in-law visits. I was also busy this afternoon taking care of the children and doing chores. I wasn't lazing around. Busy my foot. You don't even have time to prepare one meal. Our Jenna is a bit lazy, isn't she, Leo? Her husband kept his head down, chewing his chicken in silence. Just then, her sister-in-law, touching the edge of the table, started up again. Leo, the wood grain on this table is incredible. I call dibs on this one too for when you replace it. I've always wanted a table like this for when I get my own place. Susan, that's enough. Your sister-in-law is not in the mood. Why? They're not going to use it later anyway, so I'm just reserving it. You use furniture for a while and then replace it. If you're just going to throw it out, it's better to give it to me. That way we're recycling and helping the environment. Jenna finally put her fork down on her plate. Her stomach was in knots and she couldn't swallow another bite. The family storm didn't subside until 10 p.m. when they finally left. Jenna sat on the messy sofa and stared at the empty living room. Her skin crawled, thinking about the greedy hands of her in-laws pawing at the furniture and objects she had chosen with such care. Even though it was her home, she felt like a stranger, an unwelcome guest. Honey, don't take it so personally. My mom and Susan were just joking around. Leo sat down beside her and tried to touch her shoulder. Jenna coolly brushed his hand away. Joking. Going through our house and appraising our furniture like they're at a mall is a joke. Well, they're family. It's normal for them to want something nice if they see it. Don't be so defensive. If it's family, is it okay to lie on someone else's bed without permission and go through their closets? Does that seem normal to you? It's not someone else's house, it's our house. Why do you always talk like you're a stranger? Our house. Whose house do you really think this is? Ours. The marriages. Why are you asking something so obvious? If it's our house, my opinion should be the most important, shouldn't it? So why are you giving away my car and getting ready to hand over our furniture to your family? Leo, looking annoyed, picked up the remote control. Ugh, you're being so difficult. You know you've been way too uptight lately. Is it so hard to share a little with family? Jenna didn't answer. Just like the empty space in the parking garage, the trust in her husband was completely emptying out of her heart. First the car, then the furniture, and next it would be this house. This house was no longer a safe haven. She made a decision. She would build her own fortress so they could never again invade her precious territory. 2 days after they took her car and appraised her furniture, she received an unexpected call from her mother-in-law. Jenna, our refrigerator suddenly broke down. We're going to have to borrow yours for a while. Jenna, in disbelief, asked again, The refrigerator, how are you going to take an appliance? Are you planning to move something that heavy? It's not borrowing. It's just installing it in our house. We'll call some movers and they'll do it in no time. Jenna clutched the phone tightly, unable to believe it. Brenda, that's the refrigerator we are currently using. It's full of food. I know that, but it's just until ours is repaired. Can you do us this one favor? No. And how long will the repair take? They don't have the parts, so about 2 weeks or a month. A month if it takes longer. And we're supposed to live for a month without a refrigerator. The mother-in-law's voice turned cold without a shred of apology. What's the problem? You can take the opportunity to buy a smaller one. With how well you're doing, I don't know why you're so stingy. Then why don't you buy a small one? Why do we have to give you the one we're using? And why should we spend money on a new one when yours is available? Your mother-in-law asks for a favor and you flat out refuse. That's not a favor, it's a demand. Brenda, this is unacceptable. Jenna hung up the phone firmly, her hands shaking. That night, her husband came home from work and confronted her with an angry face. "Honey, my mom called me. Is it true you didn't lend her the refrigerator? Don't you think you're going too far?" "It's not that I didn't lend it to her, it's that I couldn't lend it to her. Who in their right mind takes someone's refrigerator? It's common sense. My mom says it's only for a month. Your in-laws are in a bind and you can't do them that one small favor. Then buy them a new one." "A month. And when are they going to return my car? It's been over half a month and I haven't heard a thing." Leo yanked off his tie and collapsed onto the sofa. "They'll return the car eventually. Why do you always bring up old issues? Why are you so obsessed with material things? Defending what's mine is an obsession. Why does your family think my things are theirs? And what's wrong with sharing a little within the family? Why do you always have to be at war with my family? It's not sharing. They're taking everything from me unilaterally. And why do you never not once take my side? Take a side. Do you think this is a competition between teams? Honestly, you disappoint me more every day. You're so picky about everything, it's exhausting to live with you." Leo, refusing to continue the conversation, went to his room and slammed the door. 2 days later, she received a brazen text from her sister-in-law. "Jenna, it's my nephew's birthday. Can you make us a cake? The oven you have is one of those expensive good ones." Jenna sighed and replied, "I'll have to make it myself. I've been very busy lately." Busy? How busy can someone who spends all day at home be? Making a cake is no big deal. It's for your nephew. You should at least do that. When she didn't respond, she received a furious call from her mother-in-law 30 minutes later. "Jenna, Susan told me she asked you for a cake, and you refused." "Brenda, I'm not just sitting around. Housework is also a job, and my time is valuable. Anyone who's at home is doing nothing. If your sister-in-law asks you for something, you have to say yes and do it. Since when have you become so arrogant as to talk about your time? Being family doesn't mean I have to sacrifice myself unconditionally. Sacrifice making a simple cake is no sacrifice. You are so selfish." Jenna, unable to hold back any longer, spat out the words she had been holding in her heart. "Brenda, I'm not going to make the cake. More accurately, I can't make it because I don't want to." What did you just say? Have you lost your mind?" "Yes, I don't want to. I'm going to use my time as I see fit. I've decided I'm going to learn to say no." "Insolent, you're talking back to me. From now on, I'm going to refuse everything, so you know." Jenna hung up and placed her phone face down on the table. That night, her husband came home and looked at her as if he wanted to devour her. "That's it. They told me you told my mother that you couldn't be bothered. I didn't do anything wrong. It's my time and I use it as I want. Why are you all getting so worked up? The problem is the way you said no to your mother-in-law. Why have you become so cruel lately?" "I haven't become cruel. I'm reclaiming my place. Why do you just stay quiet when they're taking what's mine?" Taking is lending and helping out family. And the car you lent, are they planning to return it? And the refrigerator and the cake, your family only takes. They never give anything in return. "I already told you they'll return the car. Why are you shouting? Can't you see the kids are sleeping?" Jenna let out a bitter laugh and looked her husband directly in the eyes. "Why do you never take my side? What am I to you? Just a maid to serve your family. Don't be ridiculous. You're exhausting me with this habit of analyzing everything." Jenna realized that continuing to talk was a waste of time. She went to the bedroom and locked the door. The next morning, as soon as the children left for school, her mother-in-law entered the house by keying in the garage code. "Jenna, come out here right now. Repeat what you said yesterday." Jenna calmly walked into the living room. "Brenda, entering someone else's house using the code without permission is disrespectful." "Disrespectful for a mother-in-law to come to her son's house. Have you lost your mind? This is my house too. I told you yesterday. From now on, I will refuse all unreasonable requests. They're not requests. It's sharing between family. If there's something good, you share it. Or do you want to live all by yourself in luxury? Sharing is a reciprocal act. What I'm suffering is a one-sided plunder. Plunder after all I've done for you. Have you already forgotten all the food I've prepared for you at every family gathering? How can you compare that to stealing my car, coveting my furniture, and exploiting my labor?" Her mother-in-law, her face red with anger, pointed a finger at her. "What kind of manners are these? You better get ready because I'm not going to stand for this." "And what are you going to do? If I just want to protect what's mine, what can you do to me?" The mother-in-law, unable to contain her rage, snorted, kicked over a potted plant in the living room and left. Jenna, seeing the fallen plant, sank onto the sofa. Just like the empty space in the parking garage, the last drop of her patience had been completely exhausted. A week later during dinner, Leo dropped the news as if it were nothing. "Honey, I'm going on a business trip abroad. It's a pretty big project, and the company is insisting I go." Jenna slowly put her spoon down on her plate. "A business trip so suddenly? For how long?" "6 months. I think I'll have to be away for half a year. It's an important matter I can't refuse." Jenna, stunned, stared at him. 6 months, and what about me and the kids? Does it seem normal to you to be away for half a year without even discussing it with me first? Leo put a bite in his mouth without a care. "What's there to discuss? It's company business. You just carry on as usual, taking care of the kids and the house. You do a great job on your own." "I do it on my own. I have to take them to school, pick them up from activities, do all the housework all by myself. You think it's easy to manage for 6 months without you? Don't be so dramatic over nothing. You're at home. You have plenty of time. I'm going out to earn a living by the sweat of my brow. You should try to be a little more understanding." "It's not a matter of understanding. The problem is your attitude that you decide important family matters on your own and simply inform me." "Inform you, I'm telling you now. I leave in 2 weeks, so start packing my bags, and since I'll be busy, tidy up my room a bit." Leo drank a glass of water and went to his room. Jenna was left alone at the table, staring blankly at the ceiling. 2 weeks later, Leo left for the airport dragging 2 enormous suitcases. "Well, I'm off. My mom and Susan will drop by from time to time. Help them out if they need anything. Have a good trip." On the way back from the airport alone in the car, Jenna felt a strange sense of liberation. The idea of being truly alone was more of a relief than a sadness, but the peace didn't last long. The next day, her mother-in-law's calls began incessantly. "Jenna, now that Leo's gone, the house must feel very empty. So you don't get bored alone, come over to our house often to lend a hand." "I'm sorry, Brenda, but I'm very busy taking care of the children. I don't think I'll be able to come." "Busy? How much work can kids be that you complain so much? It's just making them food and sending them to school. I know perfectly well you do nothing in the afternoons." "I have a ton of things to do in the afternoons. Between cleaning laundry and preparing the kids' snacks, I don't get a moment's rest." "And you call that work? In the old days, women raised children and worked in the fields. Don't play the busy bee with your mother-in-law." The mother-in-law chuckled, then revealed her true intentions. "And by the way, Jenna, while Leo is away, you could bring us the air conditioner from the living room." Jenna gripped her phone tightly. "The air conditioner, Brenda, how are we going to dismantle and lend an air conditioner? You call a technician and they dismantle it. Ours is old, it doesn't cool well, and it uses a lot of electricity. Yours is new, right? Since Leo isn't there, the one in the bedroom should be enough for you. Brenda, we use the living room too. The kids study there. Why would we dismantle a perfectly good air conditioner? You have several. Your mother-in-law can't sleep in the heat, and you as the daughter-in-law can't even lend the one from the living room. How selfish. This is a completely unreasonable request. I can't give you the air conditioner." Just after Jenna hung up firmly, she received a text from her sister-in-law. "Jenna, our vacuum cleaner broke. Lend me your cordless one. You have 2, that one, and the robot vacuum." Jenna sighed and typed a reply. "Susan, everyone should buy their own things. We use ours daily. How can I lend it to you?" "Geez, you're so cheap, Jenna. Now that my brother isn't here, you're blatantly ignoring me. Lending a vacuum is no big deal." "It's not ignoring you. It's that if you need one, you should buy one." "You're going to keep this up, Jenna. When my brother gets back, I'm telling him everything." Her sister-in-law sent a mocking emoji, but Jenna didn't reply. From that moment on, a constant offensive from her mother-in-law and sister-in-law began. They asked for everything from the dishwasher and microwave to her personal furniture under the guise of borrowing. Jenna responded each time like a robot, "No, that's not possible. It is my property." About a month later, her mother-in-law, furious, called her, screaming, "Jenna, what's gotten into you lately? Why do you say no to everything? If you don't want to lend it, then buy us a new one." "They are my things, that's why I refuse." "It's none of your business, Brenda." "None of my business. Are you challenging me? Isn't it normal to share in a family?" "It's not sharing. It's you trying to take everything unilaterally, from the car to the air conditioner and the vacuum. You've tried to take everything from me without my consent." "Take. If a mother-in-law asks for something, the daughter-in-law should at least make a gesture of giving it. You disrespectful girl. Have you ever once asked for my opinion? You've always given me orders as if it were the most normal thing in the world." Jenna's voice was cold and serene as ice. "Being family doesn't give you the right to violate my property. Now that my husband is away, I see it more clearly than ever. I am the owner of my own life." "What insolence! When Leo comes back, you're going to get it." It will be the same when my husband returns. Or rather, I will set the boundaries even more firmly. Goodbye. 2 months passed, and as the third began, Jenna realized while getting up at dawn to prepare lunches and organize the house that the home was much more peaceful without her husband. He hadn't been a protector but a source of conflict. One afternoon, her mother-in-law called again to give another brazen order. "Jenna, it's only 3 months until Leo comes back, right? Tell him to come to our house first as soon as he lands. The first thing he should do is greet his mother." "No, Brenda. I will have him come home first. The children are dying to see their father." "What does it matter? He can see the children later. How dare you put the children before his mother? I'll call Leo myself, so don't argue." "No, the children come first. We will see you later." "Are you going to be like this until the end?" Although her mother-in-law screamed, Jenna hung up without remorse. The more time she spent alone, the clearer her mind became. A strong desire not to break this peace grew within her. "I can't continue this life. No, I will not go back to how things were before." She sensed that the day of her husband's return in 6 months would not be a day of reunion, but perhaps the day of a true farewell. Jenna took a sip of coffee and began to calmly prepare for what was to come. 4 months into her husband's departure, Jenna, standing by the living room window and gazing at the empty parking space, made a decision. She could no longer waste away in this infernal spiral. Early in the morning, after dropping the kids at school, she called her father with trembling hands. "Dad, it's Jenna. I was calling because I wanted to hear your voice." "Sweetheart, is something wrong? Your voice sounds a little down." "Dad, I have something I need to talk to you about. Could we meet for a moment during lunch?" Jenna drove immediately to her parents' house. As soon as her father opened the door with his gentle smile, the tears she had been holding back burst forth. Her father, without a word, hugged her and patted her on the back. "What happened? Tell me everything from the beginning." Jenna recounted everything that had happened over the past few months. She started with her husband's atrocity of giving away the car she'd driven since before they were married to his sister without consulting her. She continued with the shamelessness of her in-laws who coveted the furniture and appliances in her home in the name of family. Her father, who listened in silence, sighed deeply and squeezed her hand. "My dear girl, you must have suffered so much all alone. Forgive me for not noticing sooner." "Dad, I've decided to get a divorce. It's impossible to dream of a future with this man." Her father was silent for a moment, then looked at her directly. "With the children involved, are you sure you won't regret it? You have to think this through very carefully." "It's a decision I've made precisely because of the children. What will they learn seeing a mother who has her things taken from her as if it's nothing? I can't raise them not to understand what property or respect for others means." At Jenna's firm resolve, her father nodded and pulled a document from his study. "All right, if that's what you've decided, your father will help you. Do you remember the condo in your name over in the River North District? It's empty right now. That's exactly why I came to see you. Could the kids and I live there?" "Of course. It's a place I bought for you in case you ever needed it. You can move in whenever you want." At her father's warm support, Jenna's eyes welled up again. "Thank you, Dad. Really, thank you so much. Don't mention it. Protecting my daughter is my duty as a father. When are you thinking of moving?" "My plan is to do it a week before Leo returns. Quietly. I want to start preparing everything now." Her father even recommended a trusted lawyer actively supporting her on her new path. The next day, Jenna went to the law firm her father had recommended. The serene-looking lawyer frowned as she heard Jenna's story. "He gave away property in your name without consulting you. This is a clear violation of your property rights. It could even be grounds for a criminal complaint. I don't want to press charges. I just want to leave this house in peace with my children. I don't need any financial compensation. Securing my condo and custody of my children is enough for me." Leaving the consultation, Jenna felt lighter than ever. Back home, while the children slept, she began to pack her things bit by bit. She packed the children's clothes and toys, as well as her most cherished personal items, into boxes that she hid in the back of the storage closet. "Mom, are we going on a trip somewhere far away? Why are you packing?" her older son asked one day upon seeing her. Jenna smiled and replied, "It's not a trip. We're moving closer to Grandpa's house, to a bigger, prettier home." "Really? That's great. I'll get to see Grandpa more often." The children's excited reaction reaffirmed Jenna's certainty in her decision. A month before her husband's return, Jenna had already hired the moving company. That night, her mother-in-law called again with her authoritarian tone. "Jenna, it's almost time for Leo to come back, right? Tell him to come to our house first as soon as he arrives. It's his duty to greet his mother to report his safe return." "No, Brenda, I've already told you that Leo will come home first. The children are dying to see their father. You're talking back to me again, Jenna hung up abruptly before her mother-in-law's screams could flood the call. In the calm before the storm, Jenna did a final check. She even had the school transfer papers for the children ready. My car is gone, but I'm about to get my life back. She no longer cared about the lost car. The true freedom and dignity she was about to gain in return were far more valuable. Jenna smiled, imagining herself choosing a new car with her children in their new home. In a week when Leo returned, he wouldn't be met with a hot dinner, but with a house with new owners and a divorce petition. Calmly, Jenna awaited that day as she finished packing her last belongings. A week before Leo's return, Jenna woke up at 5 a.m. At 6 a.m. sharp, the movers she had hired entered the house. "Ma'am, you have more things than we thought." "Are these all the boxes?" one of them asked, pointing to the boxes stacked in the living room. Jenna glanced at the heavy furniture and nodded serenely. "Yes, it's just those boxes. I'm only taking the children's things and my personal items." "You're not taking the large appliances, the sofa or the bed. They seem to be good quality. Don't you feel bad leaving them?" "It's fine. I already have everything I need at the new place. I'm getting rid of all of this." Jenna left behind without a second thought the luxury furniture she had been acquiring since before she was married. For her, escaping the memories of that place was more important than carrying them with her. Once the moving truck left, Jenna woke her children who were sleeping soundly. "Kids, wake up. Today, we're going on an adventure to our new house." "Mom, are we really leaving today? Are we going to live near Grandpa?" her older son asked, rubbing his eyes excitedly. Jenna stroked his hair and smiled tenderly. "Yes, from today on, the three of us will live happily in our new home. Come on, get ready." "Mom, but don't we have to say goodbye to Grandma? Last time she came, she said she would be back next week," the little one asked cautiously. Jenna's gaze darkened for a moment. "No, it's okay. Mom will call her later. The important thing now is that we go first." Jenna went down to the parking garage with the children. Her luxury car was probably still parked in front of her sister-in-law Susan's house, but Jenna got into the rental car she had arranged. As she started the engine and drove out of the apartment complex, watching her old home disappear in the rearview mirror, she whispered to herself, "It's over. You are erased from my life." An hour later, they arrived at an apartment complex in the River North District. As she opened the door to a high, sunny apartment, the children ran in, shouting with joy. "Wow, Mom, this place is so big and clean. I have my own room." "Of course, that room with the big window is yours. The one next to it is your brother's." "Really awesome, Mom. You're the best." The move was completed in the blink of an eye. Jenna threw open the living room windows. Sunlight streamed in, along with a fresh breeze flooding the floor. This place was her fortress, a place her in-laws couldn't access by keying a code into a door. At 3 p.m., as if on cue, the phone rang. It was her mother-in-law. "Jenna, where are you? I went to your house to bring you some food, but the door won't open. Did you change the code?" Jenna, contemplating the view from the window, answered calmly, "Brenda, I've moved. I don't live in that house anymore." "Moved? What nonsense are you talking about? You move without saying a word to your mother-in-law." "I didn't see the need to tell you. It's my house and my decision." The mother-in-law, stunned, screamed into the phone. "Your house? What do you mean, only yours? It's my son's house too. What's this madness of moving on your own? Give me the address right now." "My husband is away, and when he comes back, he won't know this address, and I have no intention of giving it to him." "What are you saying? You're not going to live with Leo? And what about the children? You wretched woman, you'll be punished for this." "I'm getting a divorce. The papers are already prepared through my lawyer. They will be served to Leo as soon as he arrives in the country." The mother-in-law's breathing became ragged. "Divorce? You dare to mention the word divorce in my family? Has Leo been unfaithful to you? Has he gambled away money? Are you making a scene over a simple borrowed car?" "It wasn't just the car. It was my things, my time, my self-esteem. Your family has devoured everything bit by bit. All those insults in the name of family, I won't tolerate them anymore. How big a deal is it to share something in a family? If you live so selfishly, you'll pay for it in the end. Sharing is based on mutual respect. And you have never respected me. You've only seen me as an accessory. Someone living off the money your son earns. The one who broke those boundaries wasn't me, it was you." Jenna hung up the phone while her mother-in-law was still shouting. At dinner, sitting peacefully with her children, the older one suddenly spoke up. "Mom, I love it here. I feel so calm." "Yes, wasn't it hard moving so suddenly?" "No, I'm really happy Grandma isn't coming. Every time she came, she would yell at you and always wanted to take our things. My brother and I were really scared." The younger one also put down his spoon and nodded. "It's true. On the days Grandma came, you always looked so sad. You don't have to be sad anymore, right? A lump formed in Jenna's throat, and she hugged her children tightly. Her heart ached, realizing they had seen everything and had suffered as much as she had. That night she received a venomous message from her sister-in-law. "Jenna, you're a terrible person. Are you in your right mind running away behind my brother's back with the kids? Did it hurt you that much that I was using the car my brother gave you?" Jenna replied without hesitation. "It's not running away, it's reclaiming my rights. And by the way, Susan, your brother didn't give me that car. It was stolen from me without my consent. You will soon receive a legal demand for its return, so keep it clean." Her sister-in-law did not reply. At 11 p.m., in the absolute silence, Jenna lay in bed and looked at the ceiling. The absence of her mother-in-law's interference and her husband's negligence created a perfect calm. Jenna took a deep breath, feeling an absolute peace for the first time in her life. The next morning, her father visited with a fruit basket. "Sweetheart, did you sleep well? Are the kids adjusting?" "Yes, Dad, it's like a dream. I can't remember sleeping so soundly in years." Her father surveyed the living room with a satisfied smile and then handed her a thick envelope. "Here for expenses. You'll need money to get started, and I'm sorry I can't give you more." "Dad, I have my savings." "You don't have to." "No, take it. It's a gift to celebrate you having the courage to take back your life." "I'm so proud of you, honey." Her father gave her a comforting pat on the shoulder. Jenna rested her head on his chest and cried silently. At that moment, she understood that a family isn't a group that covets what belongs to others, but a warm refuge that protects and respects each person's boundaries. There would be no more invasions in Jenna's life. 4 days after the move, she received the expected furious call from her mother-in-law. Jenna, sitting by the window of her new home where a fresh breeze was blowing, answered in an extremely calm voice. "Jenna, pack your bags and come back to your house right now." "What is this madness?" "I'm not coming back. That house has nothing to do with me anymore." "What do you mean you're not coming back? Your home is there. Your husband lives there. Where do you think you're going?" "My home is here, this place where I am now with my children." The mother-in-law, stunned, screamed furiously. "Insolent! A daughter-in-law belongs to her husband's family until death. That's a one-sided idea from your generation. I have decided to live differently. Differently how a daughter-in-law's duty is to devote herself to her in-laws. How dare you draw a line between what's yours and what's ours? This is my conclusion. I will not let anything more be taken from me." Taken. When have we ever taken anything from you? Is it a sin to lend and share within the family? Taking things that belong to others without permission and not returning them is called stealing and taking. That was Leo who gave it to his sister. What's wrong with a brother looking out for his sister? It's wrong because they weren't Leo's things to give. You tried to take the air conditioner, the refrigerator, the vacuum cleaner, everything. You said it was a loan, but did you ever mention a return date? The mother-in-law, momentarily flustered, stammered, "Well, we were planning to return it when things got better. Do you have to set a date for a family matter?" "And when is that? When?" "In a year or until I gave up. You never had any intention of returning anything. You were just obsessed with taking things." Jenna, setting down her teacup, continued, "And the same with the furniture. Every time you came to the house, you appraised everything and claimed it for when I got tired of it. Do you know how creepy that is?" "Appraised, I just made a comment because I thought it was nice. A daughter-in-law can't even take a joke from her mother-in-law." "It wasn't a joke. It was sincerity and greed. Brenda, let me make this clear. Everything I could give you, I have already given." "Given? What have you ever given us besides showing up at family gatherings? What have you done?" "My time. I have given my entire youth, the years I spent enduring your glares, giving in to your abusive requests, unable to express my own opinion. And you talk about that as if it were some great sacrifice. They tried to control my assets, my time, even my emotions. That's why I have nothing left to give. My patience has also run out. Nothing to give. And that expensive house and car, isn't it all maintained because our Leo works like a dog? All of that is our family's property." "No, Leo didn't contribute a single cent. What is mine is solely mine. Sharing and being stripped of things are very different." "You viper, and what do you have left to make this scandal about?" "Your son." "What? What do you mean?" "Your son Leo, whom you adore so much. That's the last thing I have left." "Why are you bringing Leo into this? Is Leo one of your things?" "Since he's the only thing I can give, I'm going to give him back to you. Brenda, I am returning your son to you." The mother-in-law, in shock, was speechless for a moment. "Return? Are you saying you're going to get a divorce? You dare to take the first step? Just as you wished, Leo will once again be entirely the property of your family. Divorce is unacceptable. Don't even think about it as long as I'm alive. You're going to ruin my son's life. That is not for you to decide. Leo and I got married, but ending it is my right. Your son may be your property, but his role as my husband ends here. Of course, it concerns me. And what about our grandchildren? Are you going to turn them into fatherless children? I will raise the children, and I am confident I will raise them in a much healthier and more peaceful environment than this one, as children who don't live in fear of their grandmother and who know how to defend what is theirs. Brenda, I'll tell you one last thing. All the humiliation and contempt I suffered as a daughter-in-law, all your attempts to covet my belongings, I am settling the score now. The only thing left is your son, so receive him back with all the love. You treat my son like an object. After having borrowed him, you dare say that. That is how you treated me. You used me like a free laborer or an object, and now you want your son to be treated like a person. I am simply returning to its rightful owner, the exhausting role of Leo's wife that I have been playing. Wicked woman, you will be punished for this. This is the just end of our arrangement. Oh, and one more thing. Return my SUV immediately. If you don't return it within 2 weeks, I will initiate legal proceedings for unauthorized use and misappropriation of property. Are you threatening me with lawsuits between family? Are you really going to go all the way? We are no longer family, we are now strangers, so the right thing to do is to act according to the law. Goodbye. Jenna hung up and tossed the phone onto the sofa. Late in the afternoon, she received a message from her visibly agitated sister-in-law. Jenna, are you really going to demand the car back? I'm using it because my brother gave it to me. Don't you think that's excessive? Jenna replied immediately. It's common sense to know that using a car registered to someone else without their permission is a crime. If you don't want to see me at the police station in 2 weeks, bring it back now. The transportation costs are on you. Her sister-in-law couldn't reply. At dinner, the children's laughter filled the living room. Mom, Grandma was yelling again. I heard her voice earlier. Yes, but it doesn't matter anymore. Mom has sorted everything out. From now on, we will live here happily with Grandpa. Yes, Mom, we're on your side. We love you. The support of her children brought tears to her eyes, but a smile formed on her face. At 9 p.m., lying in bed, Jenna promised herself, a cold ending returning the other without resentment is much more fearsome than an emotionally charged fight. The next morning, she received a call from her lawyer confirming that the documents had been served. Jenna, reviewing the neatly arranged divorce papers on her desk, fixed her gaze on the red circle, marking her husband's return date, 1 week left. It's not that I've left an empty space for you, it's that I'm going to return you in your entirety. After a long 6-month business trip, Leo set foot on American soil. As soon as he walked out of the arrivals gate at the airport, the first thing he did was call his wife Jenna. He was convinced that she, as always, would be at home, waiting for him, never questioning his decisions. Honey, I just landed. I've got my bags. I'm heading home. Home, even if you come, no one's here. We've already moved. Leo stopped dead in his tracks and asked, stunned, Moved? What does that mean? Why would you move without consulting me? I didn't feel it was necessary. From now on, there will be nothing I need to consult you about. Jenna's voice was cold and distant, as if she were talking to a stranger. Not necessary. I'm the head of the family, your husband. Are you rebelling? Husband, no. You will soon be a stranger. Just sign the divorce papers. Divorce? Have you suddenly gone crazy? On the contrary, I've just now regained my sanity. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Goodbye. The call ended, and Leo stood paralyzed in the middle of the airport. Containing his rage, he went straight to his mother's house. As soon as he opened the door, his mother threw herself on him, wailing, Oh, my son, you've worked so hard. But that woman, your wife, what a piece of work. While you were away, she ran off with the children. Mom, what exactly happened at home? Why does Jenna suddenly want a divorce? What did I do? I just acted like family naturally, and she, ungrateful, ignored my calls and ran away. Leo collapsed onto the sofa, holding his head. Do you know her address? I need to know where she is, to go beg her or argue with her, whatever it takes. I don't know. She wouldn't give it to me. She hid on purpose. His mother, indignant, wouldn't stop criticizing her daughter-in-law. At that moment, Leo remembered something and looked at her intently. Mom, did you push for Jenna's car? The problem was me giving it to Susan. And what's the problem with that? You yourself told me Susan was having a hard time without a car, and you even paid for a tow truck to send it to her. You can't even share that in a family. Mom, it was you who kept calling me saying, "Poor Susan, she deserves a car." But the final decision was yours. No, don't blame me now. You also thought she didn't need that car. Leo then understood the gravity of the situation. He realized how high the wall his wife had built was a boundary that he had trampled on in the name of family. Following the address Jenna had sent him, Leo went to the new apartment owned by his father-in-law. When he rang the bell, he heard Jenna's cold voice through the intercom. "Come in. The papers are on the living room table." Upon entering, Leo was overwhelmed by the elegant and peaceful atmosphere of the house. Jenna was no longer that timid woman. "Nice place. Your father's right. Was all this really necessary?" "Yes, I've decided to live under the protection of my family. Sign here." "Honey, I'm sorry. I'll tell Susan to return the car right now. I've already had a serious talk with my mother and her. From now on, do whatever you want." "And I'm sorry isn't enough to make up for all this time. You were never on my side. While your family stripped me down to my soul, you were always just a spectator. It was because I was caught in the middle. It was very difficult for me." "Difficult? What's difficult about being a spectator? I was the one who was suffering. You were just an accomplice." Jenna handed him the pen firmly. Finally, unable to bear the steely determination in Jenna's eyes, Leo signed the divorce papers. Jenna's condition of wanting no financial compensation or division of assets hurt him more than any insult. "Are you sure you won't regret this? Raising kids alone is not easy." "Regret it? No. As soon as you close that door, you will realize something. It's not that I disappeared from that house, it's that you have been expelled from my life. Now go." After Leo was practically thrown out, his mother's house descended into chaos. His sister ran into the living room crying. "Mom, Jenna really filed a police report against me. If I don't return the car right now, I'll have to go to the station." "What, file a report against her own sister-in-law?" "This is the last straw." "Mom, she's not my sister-in-law anymore. The divorce is already in progress. Legally, we're strangers. And if I keep using the car, it's misappropriation of property. I'm scared." Susan threw the car keys on the table and burst into tears. Finally, the luxury imported car was returned to Jenna by a transport company. The mother-in-law alone took to calling her relatives to complain about her ex-daughter-in-law, but the responses she received were cold. "Hello, it turns out my daughter-in-law—" "Brenda, please stop. I'm embarrassed to even talk about you taking your daughter-in-law's car to give to your daughter. Who lives like that these days? Why are you saying this to me? Is it a sin to share in a family?" "It's not sharing. It's stealing. Stop ruining your son's life and grow up for once." The call ended abruptly, and the mother-in-law was left shouting into the air. A month later, Jenna was walking peacefully through a park with her children. Under the warm sun, the children ran and played without a trace of worry on their faces. "Mom, I love it here. I'm so happy Grandma can't just show up suddenly." "Me too. I'm so glad to see you smiling, Mom." Jenna hugged her children tightly and took a deep breath. What she had protected was not just a car or some furniture. She had defended the sacred boundary of a life that no one could invade and the peaceful future of her children. The day her lawyer confirmed that the divorce was final, Jenna laughed out loud for the first time in a long time. She received a message from Leo asking if he could see the children, but they flatly refused. Their father was etched in their memory as someone who always sided with their grandmother, someone who had made their mother suffer. Jenna decided not to look back. There was no reconciliation, no forgiveness, but in that void sunlight her children's laughter and a life fully her own blossomed. In the serene tranquility that only those who choose their own path can enjoy, Jenna, rediscovering the true meaning of family, welcomed a new dawn. Do you support the wife's decision? We would like to hear your opinion.